Hey there, thanks so much for watching. My name is Christiana and my channel is Well Behaved Wallet, where I talk about mindset, motivation, and making or saving money. Today's video is going to be a collab on lies that I tell myself about money, and I'm super excited to talk about this and to share this with you because I am a huge believer that mindset is the beginning of any great change. So I also want to say a huge thank you to Julia from City Girl Living on a Budget for inviting me to participate in this collab. I will link to her channel. It will probably be somewhere up here. She is a fantastic budgeter as well. Really, that gives this city perspective of a city girl, like her channel says, living on a budget. She kind of shares her ups and downs and the ins and outs of her story, so she's certainly worth checking out. And if you came over from her channel or any of the other channels participating in this collab, I say a huge thank you and welcome, and hope that you will consider subscribing to me as well. So, talking about lies about money that I tell myself. I feel like this, again, because mindset is so important anytime you're looking to make a change. So a quick backstory on me: I am looking to get out of debt, stay out of debt, and live prosperously. Currently, I had a starting balance on my student loan, and that is my only debt, of $20,000. My current balance is $13,800. I am looking to get out of debt, but also to build systems and processes that bring in money rather than only relying on my day job. This is kind of a process that I'm going through. And it's kind of ever evolving, but the idea is that mindset is key to making a change. So sometimes we don't know lies that we tell ourselves until we really stop to think about it, which is one of the reasons I was super excited to make this collab, because I thought that this would be a good opportunity for me to explore those lies that I tell myself about money all the time. So with that said, I have 5 lies that I tell myself, and then after I tell you the lies and how they manifest in my life, how I show that I believe those lies, I'm going to tell you 5 truths that I replace them with, because it is so important, if you discover a lie, rather than just letting it sit there, that you pull out that lie and replace it with something better. It's like really keeping your mental landscape well tended and well gardened. If your mind is a garden, you really want to make sure that you are taking the best care that you can. Also, the more that you tell yourself this truth, the more real it becomes in your life. I spent a lot of years believing false things about myself, my own income earning potential, my ability to make and sustain quality relationships, and really affirming positive truths in my life was the way that I was able to change the trajectory of my life in general. So I'm going to share with you these 5 lies, and then after I share them, I'm going to tell you how I replace them with the truths. So lie number 1, and this is super subtle, but I know that it comes out. The first lie is, no one will like me, or XYZ, like, appreciate, esteem, whatever, consider me valuable if I don't have XYZ. So the way this manifests itself is I see myself spending an additional, spending above and beyond, especially in the areas of personal care and wardrobe. So for some people it might be cars, it might be a house that you can't afford. Oh, no one will like me, no one will take me seriously unless I have this thing or this accessory or this something. This is kind of difficult to figure out because there's a difference between wanting to look good and taking pride in your appearance and feeling like you can't succeed or you can't have something if you don't have something else. So this is something, again, where the budget really helps. Budget spending plan helps you to determine what's reasonable for your particular income and goals and what's not so reasonable. And once you start to kind of like get on that line of reasonable versus not reasonable, then that's where you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself and say, hey, what's the worst that would happen if I don't have this brand new pair of shoes? You know what? Is someone going to shoot me, as soon as I step out of my house? No, nothing will happen. It all begins in the mind. So I will tell you again at the end of these 5 lies, I'll share with you the truths that I replace them with. Lie number 2 is, I deserve this. That's a big one. I get that one a lot, and that comes everywhere from again, personal care to wardrobe to groceries. I deserve this nice coffee. I deserve this nice coffee creamer. I deserve this meal out. I worked really hard. And again, there are times when, yes, you can reward yourself. Once more, the budget will help keep you in line and say the difference between I deserve this and this is getting a little unrealistic or this is getting a little out of hand, which I know I am 100% guilty of doing. Lie number 3 is that money and things are how I get people to like me. And again, this is pretty related to line number 2, no one will XYZ me if I don't have XYZ. This manifests more in behaviors where, you know, I don't know if you had that friend yourself, where the way that they would make friends is by offering things. And not that there's anything wrong with a show of friendship, but it starts to be to get a little bit destructive when you feel like no one will like you if you don't have this thing, or if the only way you can get someone to like you is if you have this thing. And once more, the budget is absolutely something you can use to say, hey, this is where I draw the line between getting people to like me and liking myself first. Line number 4, if I have too much, and this is a tricky one, if I have too much money, people will take advantage of me. This is a tough one that I kind of had to discover myself as I am working to overcome my under-earning, which is an ongoing challenge and struggle. I find this coming out not just in money, but in all sorts of areas of like self-sabotage. I sabotage myself thinking, oh, I can't get too successful. I must mess this up, you know, some way. Let me do that. I know I'm going to mess it up, so let me mess it up now. So that for sure has, I've seen that come out in my behavior in general. Also, it's kind of like a self-defeating lie that you're going to mess up at some point, so you might as well mess up now and get it over with. You might as well have fun messing it up. And that's just like a lie from the pit of hell, really. This idea that, oh, you can't do it, so why even bother trying? And that's really dangerous and destructive. And again, you know, like your rational mind knows that that's not true and that you can succeed, but your subconscious mind really needs some convincing sometimes. I find that my subconscious mind needs convincing, which is why it takes constant work and energy and effort to say, no, I'm replacing this lie of I can't do it or people will take advantage of me with no. And I'll tell you the truth that I replace it with at the end. Line number 5, and this one, I guess, I've heard more in like religious circles. And it's really important to realize that it comes out in many different ways. So the line number 5 is that money is evil. And that, I can understand where that comes from, because certainly there are some very evil people that have used their money for very evil ends. This idea that money corrupts, that if you have too much of it, it's a sin. And that's for sure a lie that I don't know if I've been guilty of it, but I've certainly been guilty of the feeling like, oh, I won't be able to handle this money, so what am I doing with it? So that's something that I also have worked to isolate and to actively replace with the truth. So now we come to the truth portion of the videos. I've just shared with you 5 lies about money that I tell myself. I'm going to share with you 5 truths about money that I believe and I know, again, in my rational mind, that I am working toward convincing my subconscious of, and really allowing them to sink into my spirit. So truth number 1. If the lie is, no one will like me if I don't have XYZ, the truth is you already have everything inside of you that you need to succeed right now, and it is 100% at your disposal by itself. No additional money needed. It is your choice to pick up the tools. You already have them in your toolbox. You choose whether or not you pick them up to build things. So what attracts people to you? So that's truth number 1. You already have everything inside you need to succeed. Believe it. You know it. What things that you have to succeed. You have your ingenuity, you have intelligence, you have tenacity. If you're watching this video, it means that you have a desire for a better future. You don't want to just be stuck where you are. You want to get to the truth. So you already have that sort of internal guidance system that leads you to seek out something different. And that is what you need to succeed. You don't need to buy things to help you succeed. You don't need to buy things to win people's attention. You know that you already have your tools inside of you. So that is truth number 1. Truth number 2, if the lie is, I deserve this. Truth number 2 is you deserve a solid financial future that is built on discipline and good choices daily. This is a tough one because nobody wants to hear, well, very few people want to hear, nobody likes denying themselves things, right? Like that's, there are certain people that really enjoy doing that. I'm not one of them. I enjoy nice things for sure. And this is, of all 5 lies, number 2 is the one that I am the most guilty of. I deserve this. I deserve this. I'm taking care of myself. Sure. I also deserve a solid future. And while it's important to live in the moment and enjoy the moment and treasure time with the people that you love and doing things with them, it's also important to realize that there's a future and it's coming. And this is kind of like walking that fine line between the future's not necessarily guaranteed, but also so enjoying the present while also being prudent and wise. And again, this is where your budget comes in to kind of help you say, I'm saying this much toward now and this much toward later, and deciding that in advance. So truth number 2 is you deserve a solid financial future. So truth number 3, if the lie is money and things are how I get people to like me, truth number 3 is my spirit is what attracts people to me. Your spirit and the special you personality that's inside of you is what attracts people to you. Not anything you could buy or give or share. And while sharing and donating and taking care of people is wonderful, your spirit is ultimately what attracts people to you. And if they don't see that or don't want that or are only liking you for what you can give them, then they are not worth liking. So believe that in you. Your spirit is what attracts people to you. So this is another one. If the lie is, so truth number 4, if the lie is, if I have too much money, people will take advantage of me, or something like, I'm going to mess it up anyway, I might as well mess it up and have fun when it comes to managing your money. If that's the lie, the truth is, I have a very good guidance system inside me, deep, deep, deep within me, that still small voice, sometimes very small, very, very small, but I have that guidance system and that voice inside me that will tell me how to behave. I am able to seek out good, solid, strong principles that will help me manage what I have and allow me to obtain and to gather more. I'm free to manage money as I see fit. So this also goes back to truth number 1. You have everything you need inside of you to succeed. And a further truth is that success is yours to do with it and to claim as you will. And your mindset is to start that success. Believe that you have it inside you to succeed. That's the biggest truth that I can communicate right now. Believe that if you seek it, if you have that map and you just keep walking, eventually you will get there. No matter how slow you go, if you keep walking in the right direction, you will get there. Then lie number 5, if the lie is money is evil, the truth is, and I know that if you go to church, you've heard this before, it's not so much that money is evil, but the love of money is evil. Money is nothing more than a tool, than an exchange of energy. And money can be used to, yes, do terrible things, but also to do wonderful and transformative healing things as well. Think about the hospitals and the charities and the foundations that have been set up that have changed people's lives for the better. And I know an analogy that Dave Ramsey uses a lot is the Good Samaritan wouldn't have made it into the book if he didn't have money. Yes, that's true. So it's not so much that money is evil, but that the love of money is evil. And again, if you've heard that, you know it, but allowing that to resonate inside of you, and the belief that the love of money is evil, but money itself can be used to do wonderful things, and that everything in the earth belongs to the creator of the earth, and that he loves you and that he wants to bless you richly. That's why I do this for myself, because I find that the way that I handle money is directly related to the way that I trust God, the creator, the God of my understanding, the creator of the universe. And the better I am and the more intentional and disciplined I am with handling money, the more I find myself able to release control of my life and take action. It's an interesting paradox, releasing control but also taking action. And it starts with the truth. And you find the truth by identifying the lies. So I feel like I thank you again to Julia, and I know that she is actually an atheist, so I thank you to her for helping, for bringing that perspective to the discussion. And I thank her also, Julia, I thank you for kind of putting this out there to help us to determine the lies so we can replace them with truth, because we're all deep down searching for, I guess, that universal truth. And for me, that truth is that God is love, and that God loves us, God loves you, God loves me, and that He wants to give us good things, and He wants to help show us how to handle good things. So I hope that this video brings you closer on your road to being able to handle more good and wonderful things that God is waiting to bless you with. And if you're new to my channel, again, I hope you'll subscribe and keep watching. And if you are a returning subscriber, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for watching, and I hope, as always, that you will keep watching. Bye.